I call a special meeting of the Ascension Parish Council Thursday, November 5th. To order, please. Our invocation tonight be led by Councilman Benny Johnson. Our invocation be led by Chairman Raymond O'Quinn, who is Chairman of the Donaldsonville Council.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come here this evening. Bless us with the ability to make good decisions for our parish and for the people who live within it. Give us the fortitude and the ability to make good decisions here tonight. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Chairman O'Quinn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Before we go to our roll call, I'd like to make an announcement. Keep Miss Nora Lee Carpenter in your prayers and thoughts. Miss Nora Lee is in the hospital. Councilman Valentine in Tennessee? Okay. Keep her in your prayers, please. Roll call, Miss Suzanne. All present with exception of Councilman Lambert, Dempsey Lambert, Councilman Chris Lohr. Public comment period. Anyone wish to speak on any item on the agenda, sign in with Miss Suzanne. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Number 5, reading with ordinance. Miss Lindsay Manda, please. Or I'm sorry.
I'm going to read.
Okay, Miss Kim. All right.
Purpose, to amend Article 3, Section 3-02A of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 3, Section 3-02A is amended as follows. A. The salary of the parish president shall be no less than the salary of the parish sheriff and no more than 15% above the salary of the parish sheriff. The council shall review the president's salary at least once during a 4-year term. However, any ordinance to increase the president's salary above the base sheriff's salary cannot be considered during the last year of a 4-year term. Any change in the salary above the base shall only become effective at the beginning of the next 4-year term.
I need a motion to open public hearing, please.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cluart.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item, please come forward. Sign in. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing, please. Motion to close by Councilman Adrian Thompson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. I need a motion to move the ordinance, please.
Second.
I'm gonna get to that. Motion by Councilman Shake Snyder.
Second.
Second by Councilman Cullen. Any discussion?
Yes.
Councilman Valentine, please.
Thank you, Chairman Bell. Gentlemen, and I'm sure everybody has done their homework and has looked at this. One thing, let me say to start off with, I'm a little disappointed that we weren't able to do this more in an unceremonial session of the council before the general public to discuss each one of these ordinances so we wouldn't have to take them up in this mode. If you read the ordinance that we did, yes, it states it has to come before us in ordinance form, but you really didn't have to introduce everything and do it the way we're doing it. So it makes it a little bit precarious in this situation so that we can get some large discussion on it. One of the things I have an objection on this particular ordinance about is the fact that essentially what this ordinance would do in changing the charter would essentially take the responsibility out of the council's hands. Obviously, in the past, it was, I guess, a confrontation or a discussion that was had several years ago. I've been on the council for 6. We hadn't had any discussion or an arguments dealing with this or making a situation to make a divided council. But in taking it out of our hands, placing it along the sheriff's scale, essentially you're giving your legislative duty to the legislature of Louisiana. We just as soon sit home, cast our votes from our easy chairs. Your people that you represent in your districts essentially put you in office to make decisions dealing with finances, and this is one of them. Where you can't have a debate, a discussion on a general And it's not a personality thing. It's not that Parish President Tommy Martinez is in office now. We happen to be discussing this. It doesn't matter who's parish president. You know, the superintendent of schools is, he gets his raises through the school board. Parish president of Ascension Parish essentially runs for an office. He knows what it is before he runs, and he gets elected by the people. If we follow what the sheriff's situation is, we're going to let the lobbyists for the sheriff in the legislature to dictate how much we pay our parish president. And I find that pretty insulting, to tell you the truth. I think we're smart enough to figure out what we need to do when it comes to pay raises, not only for our employees, which I think we've put on hold for the time being, but also for our administration. And since Mr. Martinez is our administration this time, and we want to seek to raise that salary, we could do that. Obviously, we could do it and take effect next time, the next 4-year period or whatever. Then the second line of this is that it's saying that the council shall review the president's salary at least once during a 4-year term. Well, okay, so we're going to eliminate the arguments, evidently, but then we got to review the salary in our 4-year term anyway. I mean, I really don't understand the gist of this, the way it's written. The charter called for a minimum. The minimum is there. It was raised before. It can be raised in the future. I think it's our duty to do it. That's why I oppose this.
Okay, so Councilman Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask a couple of guys that was on the commission, Charter Commission, where did they come from to get to this point? I know y'all had some discussion and, 15% above, you can go up to 15% above the sheriff's salary. I guess where did y'all come from with the sheriff's salary? Where did y'all have some intake from?
Would you come to the mic, please, Mr. Porsche?
It is correct that there is a minimum that is required to pay, and in the past, the council has raised that above that minimum. There's also nothing in there that would prevent y'all to dropping it back down to the minimum. This would assure anyone who wishes to run for that position that they would be paid at least that of the parish president. Amendment was added on to that later to allow y'all to add an additional 15% to that if y'all so desired. The point being was that it would be a fixed salary for sure, at least that of the parish president. That's where this originated from, because it's been the consideration is that the minimum, of course, was we didn't think it was adequate for the position and the responsibility of that office. So we wanted to be sure that it would be paid at least that of the parish sheriff. And at that point, anytime the sheriff would, of course, receive an increase, and theirs is based on population, just there's a statute that covers that, and it would also apply to the parish president.
And their raise comes from, like Mr. Valentine says, from the state legislature.
They can't just raise, the sheriff can't just raise their own salary. It's a legislative event.
From the state.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And I'm sure none of these council up here is actually going to drop, go to the minimum. That's never been a problem in the last 12 years. It's my third term on the council. We've never had a problem with that before. That's one of the reasons with a lot of these changes in this, I've personally never had any problem with the way the charter is written as it is. But, and I know the salary's up. I was on several boards, when the salary went up,
Yes.
with the parish president, and it's never going to come back down, I can't see any of us unless the economy went really bad and, it was forced to, that would be the only reason it would go all the way, back to the minimum, which we'd never see that.
Well, Mr. Lamb, I was just trying to answer your question where it came from. That was our rationale in it. We voted unanimously on it. We thought that was what should be taken care of.
Todd,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you a short synopsis on how the sheriff's salary is calculated.
Okay.
First of all, the state legislature offers and issues for the raise. The U.S. Supreme Court then calculates the amount that the sheriffs receive. And the way they do that is by what Mr. Poche said, based on population. Anything 400,000 people above, they receive a set amount. Anything below the 400,000 below is $20,000 less. But it has to go first to the state legislature. They issue it for the raise. The U.S. Supreme Court then calculates that raise. There's only 3 parishes in the state of Louisiana that has over 400,000 people. That's Orleans, Jefferson, and East Baton Rouge Parish. And that's the way they calculate it, and that goes through 2010 right now. I met this morning with the Sheriff's Association, and it's not just something that they can just go there and ask for a raise and get it, because it's a real formula in which they do it by. And like Mr. Poche said, we just set a basis of a way to calculate that for you to have to calculate that.
Thank you. Mr. Milton. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sir. Councilman Joseph.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I look at this ordinance here, and it's always coming up to me, accountability and responsibility. You know, the state authorized us, allowed us to vote on our own salary currently at $1,600 a month. But we have not brought that up. We haven't took a motion on it, discussed it, or anything. The state governs the lower government of a parish. The people approved this charter for this board, the parish council, to govern the administration. I just think I have to agree with Mr. Valentine where we're going to state level to govern us. I mean, even the President of the United States is governed by Congress and the Senate on his salary. It just makes sense that we should be accountable and responsible of making these decisions about the parish president's salary. Last year, we made a responsible and a decision on the salary of the employee. And it went very well on the decision we made. So I really don't agree with giving this authority to a state level. I think we all responsible and can be accountable to our constituents on the amount of money that we distribute out for our budget. So I just don't agree with this, that letting the state do our work that we are responsible for, that we got elected for. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Any other discussion? Councilman Shakespeare.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. I don't have the least qualms at putting this in with the parish judges and the sheriff on their level. Basically, what we're doing is we're setting a new minimum. And that minimum declares that the president of Ascension Parish, who is by all accounts the lead elected official of the parish, at least gets the same salary as other elected officials. And we need to think about this not as a popularity contest or anything else, but a position. And my firm belief is that the position of the parish of Ascension should, at very minimum, be the highest paid or within the highest paid of any elected official. And if you partner it in with the sheriff and the judges, and if you look around with the duties of the judges or the duties of the sheriff, and you compare that with the parish president, I'm sure none of them would wish to change their duties. And so it allows us responsibility. We can decide whether we want to increase his salary 15%, which we have the option to do. So we do have a lot of leeway. We do have the option, if we so desire, to increase his salary. And all this does is puts it up there where, in my opinion, the position of Ascension Parish President should be. No elected official should be paid more than the Parish of Ascension. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Councilman Cullen.
I agree with you, Ken, on that, and I think that's what these two guys were trying to explain, that same step that he was, that Ken was just talking about.
Councilman Johnson.
Yeah, one other thing, too, that I would like to point out. The thing that we're doing here today is putting it forth to the people. We're not giving up this authority. We're giving it to the people to let them decide whether they want us to have it or whether they want to put it on the ballot and accept it and move it for the legislature to make that decision or not. That's the way I'm looking at this. Thank you.
Councilman Valentine.
Yeah, I got to disagree with you, Mr. Johnson, Councilman Johnson. The point being is, that's what we get elected for. This makes it easy. You know, you just vote on it, let the people vote on it. I'm not sure the people's going to vote for it, to be honest with you. I think if you put it before the people, it's going to be very difficult to pass. That's why I think it needs to remain right here with this council. Mr. Shakes and I feel so strong about that we need to raise the salary. Put it on the agenda. Let's raise the salary. You don't have to have the charter as stamped as our constitution for the parish to tell you, to dictate to you what you have to do. It's not the right thing to do. I understand that the parish president is a big job, but I don't agree that it should be the highest paid in the parish. I think the sheriff does a wonderful job. The sheriff doesn't have a 11-council legislative body that oversees his situation. The parish president does. That's the way this home rule charter is set up. And so what I'm saying is, some of you fellows may disagree with me, but you're just dodging your responsibility.
Any more discussion, Councilman? Any objection?
I object.
I object.
Roll call, Ms. Suzanne.
Councilman Fuller.
Yes.
Councilman Cole.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes?
Councilman Joseph.
No.
Councilman Dixie Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
No.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilman Shake Snyder.
Yes.
Councilman Thompson.
Yes.
Councilman Valentine.
No.
7 yeas, 50 nays, Chairman Zell.
Yes. Okay, ordinance is adopted. Number 8.
Purpose, to amend Article 3, Section 3-03F of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 3, Section 3-03F is amended as follows. F. However, the governing authority shall have the power to reinstate any employee except department heads who has been removed by the President, but only upon a 2/3 vote of the members of the governing authority.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Clark to open public hearing. Second. Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Anyone wish to speak on this item? Come forward. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. A motion to close public hearing. Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Randy Cluart. I'll need a motion for the ordinance. To approve the ordinance, please.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Number 11, please.
Purpose, to amend Article 3, Section 3-07B of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 3, Section 3-07B is amended as follows. B. A vacancy in the office of the President shall be filled by appointment of a person meeting the qualifications for the office by a majority vote of the governing authority. If 1 year or less of the unexpired term remains when the vacancy occurs, the appointment shall be for the remainder of the term. If the vacancy occurs more than 1 year prior to the expiration of the term, the appointment shall be until such time as the office is filled by the vote of the qualified electors voting in a special election called by the council for that purpose, which election shall be held according to the timetable and procedures established by state law generally for the filling of vacancies in elected local offices. The appointee shall be ineligible to be a candidate in the election to fill the vacancy that he/she filled.
Need a motion to open public hearing, please? Motion. Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Chris Lower. Please come forward. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Signed, Ms. Suzanne. Need a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Lohr. Second by Councilman Shakespeare. I need a motion to approve the ordinance. Moved by Councilman Chris Lohr. Second by Councilman Shakespeare. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 14, please.
Purpose, to amend Article 3, Section 3-08A of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 3, Section 3-08A is amended as follows. A. When the President expects to be absent from the parish for more than 7 consecutive days, the President shall notify the Chairman of the governing authority in writing of the expected duration of the absence. The powers and duties of the office shall be exercised by the Chief Administrative Officer or, in the absence of a Chief Administrative Officer, the President's designee.
Need a motion to open public hearing. Moved by Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Second.
Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Motion to close public hearing. Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. I need a motion to approve the ordinance. Motion by Councilman Cullen. Second by Councilman Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 17, please.
Purpose, to amend Article 3, Section 3-08B of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 3, Section 3-08B is amended as follows. B. If the temporary absence of the President extends to more than 90 consecutive days, the office shall become vacant and shall be filled in accordance with Section 3-07 vacancies.
Need a motion to open public hearing. Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak, please come forward. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Need a motion to move the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Yes, ma'am. 20.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-02B of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-02B is amended as follows. B. Each member elected from a district shall reside and be a qualified elector in that district for at least 6 months immediately preceding the date established by law for qualifying for office.
Need a motion to open public hearing. Motion by Councilman Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cullen. Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 23.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-02C of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-02C is amended as follows. C. Reapportionment. 1. Following official publication of the 10-year federal census by the United States Bureau of the Census, and at least 6 months prior to the next election for the governing authority members following publication of the census, the governing authority by ordinance shall, if necessary, alter, change, or rearrange council district boundaries so as to provide for population equality among the districts as near as reasonably practicable. To the extent possible, governing authority districts shall be compact and be composed of contiguous territory. If it is necessary to provide for a new apportionment plan, it shall be in compliance with all federal and state law. 2. If an election for council members is scheduled for the year in which census data are publicized and federal approval is required for the reapportionment plan, then the council by ordinance may postpone reapportionment for not more than 1 year.
Need a motion to open public hearing? Motion. Motion by Councilman Randy Cluott.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Please come forward. If we speak on this item, you'll be allowed 3 minutes. Motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Councilman Dennis Lohr. I mean, Dennis Cullen, excuse me.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Okay, I need any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 26, please.
To amend Article 4, Section 4-05B of the Ascension Parish Charter, be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-05B is amended as follows. B. The notice for a special meeting must be signed by the president or the members calling the meeting, shall state the purpose of the meeting, and shall be served on each member personally or at their domicile. Service shall be made by any employee of the parish who shall certify in writing the date, time, place, and person served, or by any law enforcement officer of the parish or any municipality therein. At a special meeting, only matters specified in the call shall be considered. In case of public emergency, such notice shall not be required. However, notice of the meeting shall be given as it deems appropriate and circumstances permit. All regular and special meetings shall be open to the public.
Need a motion to open public hearing. Councilman Randy Kluart, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Please come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Motion to close public hearing. Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Need a motion to move the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Kluart, second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Number 29.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-09 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-09 is amended as follows. A. The council may, by a vote of a majority of its members, appoint a secretary of the council who shall serve at the pleasure of the council. The duties shall be per ordinance. However, the council secretary shall assume the duties of the secretary in Section 5-01A. B. The council may, by ordinance approved by two-thirds of its members, hire such other employees as may be necessary to assist the council in carrying out its legislative duties and responsibilities. Such employees shall serve at the pleasure of the council. C. The council shall, by ordinance approved by two-thirds of its authorized membership, fix the salaries of its employees. The benefits for the employees shall be the same as other parish employees. D. At least 90 days before the beginning of the fiscal year, the council shall report to the president the number of council employees and the budget for their salaries for the following fiscal year.
Need a motion to open public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Kluart. Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Anyone wish to speak, come forward. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. I need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Number 32.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-12E of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-12E is amended as follows. E. Create parish departments, offices, or agencies in addition to those created by this charter by an ordinance adopted by a two-thirds majority vote of the governing authority. Advisory boards and commissions may be created by an ordinance approved by a majority vote of the entire governing authority. Members of advisory board or commission shall be appointed and or removed by the parish governing authority and shall report to either the president or the governing authority per the authorizing ordinance. If a board or commission member's term has expired by at least 30 days, then the president shall have the right to reappoint the member or appoint a replacement to this position except as prohibited by law.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Benny Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item, please come forward. You'll be allotted 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Kluart. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Any objection? Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-12G of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-12G is amended as follows. G. enter into intergovernmental agreements and other such contracts with other governmental entities within or outside the boundaries of the parish for joint performance or performance by one entity in behalf of the other of any authorized function or activity.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Councilman Chris Lohr, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Anyone wish to speak, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lohr. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lohr, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 38.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-12J of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-12J is amended as follows. Paragraph J is deleted in its entirety.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Benny Johnson, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. You wish to speak on this item. Need a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart. Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. I need a motion to approve the ordinance. Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-12K of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-12K is amended as follows. J, perform any other acts consistent with the state law deemed to be for the best interests of the people of Ascension Parish.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lohr, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Motion to close public hearing. Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. I'll need a motion to approve the ordinance. Councilman Kent Shakespeare, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 44.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-16 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-16 is amended as follows. The governing authority shall set bonds for the treasurer/chief financial officer and anyone else the governing authority deems necessary.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. I'll need a motion to close public hearing.
Move to close.
Close. Motion by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. I'll need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Second by Councilman Oliver Joseph. In discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 47.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-21A of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-21A is amended as follows. A, any vacancy on the governing authority shall be filled within 30 days by appointment by at least a majority vote of the remaining members, excluding the president. If the unexpired portion of the term is more than 1 year, the vacancy shall be filled by special election called by the governing authority within 60 days after the vacancy occurs and held at the earliest date authorized by law. The appointee shall serve in office until the person elected to fill the vacancy assumes the office. If the unexpired portion of the term is 1 year or less, the appointee shall serve out the remainder of the term. If the governing authority does not make an appointment as required by this section within 30 days after the vacancy occurs, the appointment shall be made by the governor. The appointee shall be ineligible to be a candidate in any election to fill the vacancy in the seat that he/she filled.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Motion to close public hearing. Motion by Councilman Benny Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lohr. Need a motion to move the ordinance. Motion by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. In discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted.
Purpose, to amend Article 4, Section 4-21C of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 4, Section 4-21C is amended as follows. C. Any vacancy in any other local office filled by election wholly within the parish of Ascension shall be filled by appointment by the governing authority of the political subdivision in which the vacancy occurs, unless otherwise prohibited by law, until it is filled by election as provided by law.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart,
Second.
second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Anyone wish to speak on this item? Come forward, you'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
Motion, I didn't see who it was. Motion by Councilman Oliver Joseph, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. I need a motion to move the ordinance, to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lower,
Second.
second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted.
Purpose, to amend Article 5, Section 5-01 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 5, Section 5-01 is amended as follows. Section 5-01, the Parish Secretary and Treasurer Chief Financial Officer. The Parish Secretary and Treasurer Chief Financial Officer shall be appointed by the President, subject to the ratification of a majority of the members of the governing authority, who shall thereafter serve at the pleasure of the President. E. Any parish treasurer, chief financial officer who misapplies the public funds placed in his hands belonging to the parish or refuses to account satisfactorily for the same shall be fined not less than $500 for the use of the parish and imprisoned at the discretion of the court for not less than 3 months, and together with his securities shall pay interest as damages at the legal rate of interest on all sums not accounted for in which judgment has been rendered.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart,
Second.
second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item? Come forward, you'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. I'll need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 56.
Purpose, to amend Article 5, Section 5-01B of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 5, Section 5-01B is amended as follows. B. The Treasurer Chief Financial Officer shall, 1. At the time of appointment have a minimum of 5 years' experience in accounting or auditing, managerial and/or administrative experience in fiscal matters. 2. Maintain the treasury of the parish and negotiate agreements with depository banks subject to the approval of the governing authority. 3. Account for all property, real or personal, and the materials and supplies of the parish. 4. Maintain perpetual inventory, establish and supervise all accounts for all funds, both operating and capital, trusts, or otherwise. 5. Prepare and issue all checks for the parish, permitting no expenditure except those duly authorized in accordance with this charter, parish ordinance, and/or applicable state laws. 6. Be responsible for the execution and supervision of operating and capital budgets and provide assistance in budget preparations. 7. Provide information on fiscal matters requested by the President and/or any member of the governing authority, and/or 8. Perform any other duties as directed by the President or the governing authority in accordance with this charter and not denied by state laws. 9. Provide budgetary, fiscal, and other controls over all special boards, commissions, agencies, districts, or any device having governmental functions which it or its predecessor has created to ensure the maximum possible coordination of government at the local level in Ascension Parish.
Need a motion to open public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. A motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
A motion by Councilman Oliver Joseph, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Oliver Joseph, second by Councilman Chris Lower. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 59.
Purpose, to amend Article 5, Section 5-01D of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 5, Section 5-01D is amended as follows. D. The Parish Secretary and Treasurer, Chief Financial Officer may be the same person if so designated by the President, subject to the ratification of a majority of the members of the governing authority.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart. Second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Motion closed.
Need a motion to close. Councilman Oliver Joseph, second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 62.
Purpose, to amend Article 5, Section 5-03B of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 5, Section 5-03B is amended as follows. B, the full-time parish attorney shall be a licensed attorney in the state of Louisiana who has practiced law for at least 5 years immediately preceding his/her appointment with no residency restrictions.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Anyone wish to speak on this, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing. Councilman Kent Schexnayder. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. I need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
A motion by Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 65.
Purpose, to amend Article 6, Section 6-02C3 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 6, Section 6-02C3 is amended as follows. C, Introduction for Title, Adoption, and Publication. 3, at the time and place so advertised or any time or place to which such hearing may be adjourned from time to time, a summary of the ordinance shall be read, and, after the reading, all interested persons shall be given an opportunity to be heard.
Motion to open public hearing, please.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluart.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone who wishes to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
By Councilman Randy Cluart. I'll need a motion to move the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any discussion?
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
discussion.
Councilman Valentine.
Gentlemen, this is another one that I have an objection to that you may want to look at closely, because essentially what it's saying here is that we don't have to read the ordinance anymore. We just essentially give a summary of it. Now, who's going to determine what the summary should be? I think it's important for the citizenry of Ascension Parish, who a lot watch this Channel 21 and watch us conduct business, to understand exactly what we vote on and not a summary of it. There's a lot of hoopla right now on the nation where the legislators are not even reading 1,000-page documents that they're going to vote on and put into the law. And I think it's important that we do that. We've already established that we could put the property descriptions on an exhibit, and you don't have to read the property exhibits as far as in total with the ordinance. I really don't see a reason why an ordinance should not be read in its entirety, and I totally will object to this one.
Any more discussion? Was that it, Councilman Valentine?
That's it.
That's it. Any more discussion? Any objection?
I object.
Object.
Give me a roll call, Ms. Suzanne.
Councilman Cluart.
Yes.
Councilman Cullen.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Joseph.
Yes.
Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
No.
Beg your pardon?
No.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilman Schexnayder.
Yes.
Councilman Thompson.
No.
Councilman Valentine.
No.
Chairman Bennett.
Yes. What is the vote count, ma'am?
8 to 3.
Okay, ordinance is adopted. 68, please.
Purpose, to amend Article 6, Section 6-04 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 6, Section 6-04 is amended as follows. To meet a public emergency affecting life, health, property, or public safety, the governing authority, by a vote of 2/3 of its members, may adopt an emergency ordinance at the meeting at which it is introduced, and it may make it effective immediately, but not to exceed 60 days, except that no such ordinance may be used to levy a tax or grant, extend or modify a franchise. An emergency ordinance shall be published in full in the official journal of the written of the parish within 10 days after adoption. Every emergency ordinance shall contain a specific statement of the emergency claimed.
Motion.
Need a motion to open public hearing. Got a motion by Councilman Randy Cluott. Second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing. Councilman Kent Shakespeare.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Need a motion to approve the ordinance. Moved by Councilman Kent Shakespeare.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 71.
Purpose to amend Article 6, Section 6-05 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 6, Section 6-05 is amended as follows. A. The President and Secretary of the governing authority shall sign each ordinance after it has been enacted. B. If the proposed ordinance is not signed or vetoed by the President within 10 days after receipt, it shall be considered adopted and shall become effective as provided in Section 6-02.
Need a motion to open public hearing. Moved by Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lower. Anyone wish to speak, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing? Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Need a motion to approve the ordinance. Councilman Kent Shakespeare.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 74.
Purpose to amend Article 6, Section 6-07 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 6, Section 6-07 is amended as follows. An act of the governing authority which is not to have the force of law may be enacted by resolution. Acts which may be adopted by resolution shall include but shall not be limited to one which 1. Establishes a commemorative day, week, month, or year. 2. Authorizes a person to sign or execute on behalf of the governing authority a contract which has been previously approved. 3. Authorizes a person to execute, sign, or countersign a check or draft on an account of the governing authority. 4. Declares a statement of public policy of the governing authority.
Need a motion to open public hearing, please.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lower.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lower. I didn't hear it. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Chris Lower.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 77.
Purpose to amend Article 7, Section 7-04 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 7, Section 7-04 is amended as follows. Any member of the governing authority or employee of the parish designated by the council shall be bonded. The bond shall be in the amount commensurate with his financial responsibility and secured from a company authorized to insure bonds in this state. The premiums shall be paid by the parish.
Need a motion to open public hearing. Motion by Councilman Randy Cluott.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing. Motion by Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Kent Shakespeare. Need a motion to approve the ordinance. Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lower. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 80.
Purpose to amend Article 8, Section 8-01 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 8, Section 8-01 is amended as follows. Legal process against the parish shall be served upon the president or, in his absence, upon the parish secretary.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Benny Johnson. Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing. Closed by Councilman. Motion by Councilman Randy Cluott.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen.
Second.
Second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 83.
Purpose to amend Article 8, Section 8-08 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 8, Section 8-08 is amended as follows. There shall be an official journal of the parish for publication of proceedings as required by state law.
Need a motion to open public hearing. Councilman Benny Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Randy Cluard. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing.
Motion to close.
Motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Randy Cluard.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. 86.
Purpose to amend Article 9, Section 9-01 of the Ascension Parish Charter. Be it hereby ordained that the Ascension Parish Council does hereby authorize the following changes to the charter and authorizes the below changes to be placed on the next available ballot. Article 9, Section 9-01 is amended as follows. A. An amendment to or the repeal of this charter may be proposed by at least two-thirds of the members of the governing authority or by a petition. B. A mandatory review of the Home Rule Charter will be conducted every 10 years.
Need a motion to open public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Benny Johnson, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes. Need a motion to close public hearing. Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen,
Second.
second by Councilman Chris Lohr. I need a motion to move the ordinance.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilman Randy Cluard. Any discussion? Any objection? Discussion. President Martinez.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank the Home Rule Charter Commission. I think they did an excellent job. They put a lot of time and effort into these changes. I'm not going to say that I agree with every one of them, but they've done what they did the research. They've done a job, and they did an excellent job that we asked them to. So I want to thank you guys and everyone else that served on the committee. Y'all did an excellent job, and hopefully we'll see what happens during the election. But
Okay.
that's it.
All right, sir. Any more discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted.
Motion to adjourn.
Councilman Lambert, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Councilman, we'll take a short recess, long enough for Lester to change his tapes to get ready for our regular council meeting.